Hey guys, it's Ryan with My Listing Club. In this video, we'll be continuing on with the educational series, How to Build an Online Business with the MyListing WordPress theme. As we've done throughout this series, we'll be using the MyListing Project Template as our guide. The project template can be found by going to the MyListing Club website, that's mylisting.club, scrolling down the homepage just a bit, and clicking on the MyListing Project Template card. This product page is going to walk you through everything that this template includes, what it's all about. There's even a walkthrough video, but you're going to get a first-hand look at this template in this video and as part of this educational series. So you don't really need the walkthrough video if you happen to be watching these videos. There's also a change log. This is everything that I'm adding to this template on a weekly basis, which is it's frequent right now. It's almost every day. You know, something along those lines. Every other day. It's often okay. You can get your hands on this template as part of a one-off purchase. Just click the Buy Now button and you can buy it. If you buy a starter site from me, I will include a copy of this. If you want the ongoing changes, so everything that you see down here in this change log as I keep dropping stuff in, to get those ongoing changes and download this template as many times as you want, you have to be an Ultimate Club member or one of my MyListing Care Plan clients, okay? All right, let's go ahead and close this down. I also wanted to point out the Build an Online Business using the MyListing theme post. This is a running post that as we do these videos, I'm updating. It doesn't have every single thing that the project template has, and one of the reasons for that is I just can't give away everything in a blog post. The other reason is the MyListing Project Template has a lot of checklists, so it's in checklist form, and it's built that way for a reason. The project template, which you'll see here in a second, is made to where you can move cards around, check off the tasks, and that sort of thing, which isn't really doesn't really work in a blog post, if that makes any sense. Okay. As I make note at the very top here and in the project template itself, the checklists are not included. So that's why some information might be missing, the checklists and things like that. The other thing, which I point out in the template, that's not in there. So let's go ahead and let me pull that up here. 1 second. If you get the template, you're going to see a card that says it's a project template intro, and it's going to say how to use this template. And it's basically just saying I've laid out the tasks within this template in the exact order I build my listing websites. Every project is different, so some tasks may not apply to you, and some tasks may need to be done in a slightly different order. But you'll complete the tasks in the first column, working top down. Once you've done that first column, you'll then move on to the next column. This process works for a majority of the projects out there. The really important thing I want to drive home right now in this video is if I don't mention a particular setting or list it as part of a checklist, it's safe to assume I went with the default setting, okay? Just be sure to review every setting because your project is unique to you, okay? Or your client, okay? So I wanted to get that out of the way and mention that. All right, let's get back to where we are here. So we're in the My Listing column. There's a lot to do in this column. It's going to take us a while to get through it. Quite a number of videos and stuff will need to be produced for it. But we left off here with subscriptions. Subscriptions is actually part of the WooCommerce column, which we've already completed. But what I did here for the sake of this series is bunch these together, the tasks related to payments. So subscriptions, listing packages, listing subscription packages, listing subscription group product, and paid listing packages. So all of those are kind of like related to payments and stuff like that. So I wanted to kind of lump those together. It won't all be done in one video, I don't think, but probably in a couple, okay? We'll just see how we get along here. Okay, so enough jabbering about that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the subscriptions, okay? So for that, we're going to jump over to this test site I have for my listing. We're going to go to WooCommerce and Settings, and we're going to click on this Subscriptions tab. Once you have the WooCommerce Product Subscriptions plugin installed, this tab will be exposed. You just go there, and then you'll just work through the settings here, okay? I recommend if you are selling or providing free subscriptions, then you check this box. Give them that free initial checkout without a payment. Okay. The other one I want to stress is the retry fail payments. If a payment fails, you want to try to capture that payment again. Okay. The other one here is allow switching, and we want to turn on grouped subscriptions. I'm assuming that you're going to have multiple tiers of pricing, so you really want to turn this on to allow people to upgrade and downgrade, most likely. If you don't turn it on, but that's typically how I set that up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save changes here. All right, that is it for the subscriptions card. Let's move on down now to listing packages, okay? All right, so this is a WooCommerce product type that allows you to sell or provide free listing submissions on your MyListing website. There are limitations, though, when compared to what listing subscriptions packages offer, which we'll get into here in a second. If you can afford the price of WooCommerce Subscriptions, the plugin, I highly recommend you implement that over the default listing packages that we're talking about now. If you know you're going to do subscriptions for your packages, just skip this task as far as needing to complete it. But I do want to talk to you about the features that overlap between the two types of packages. Okay, so regardless of which listing package you choose, they do share some similarities in terms of the settings. Okay, so let's go over those. To do that, let's go back to our site. Let's go to products. Let's create a new one. Let's call this, we'll call this listing package. And under product data, we're going to change from simple product to listing package. Okay. Again, this checklist, there's a checklist in the project template for all of this stuff. Okay. So I'm not going to go through every single setting like product image, gallery, categories, and all that. You can get all that in the template. All right. So the first one I want to talk about is the listing limit. By default, there's an unlimited amount of listings that people can place with a listing package product. Okay, so let's just say you want to limit this to one listing. We'll just type a 1 in there. Listing duration, by default, MyListing sets a 30-day duration. This is one of the reasons why I really like the subscriptions option is, as long as someone is paying for the subscription, their listings stay up. Very simple, But if you happen to want to stick with listing packages, what this setting does is just really simple. Specifies how long that listing is valid until. So defaults to 30 days. You can change the setting in MyListing to make this whatever you want. So it defaults to that here every time. Okay, so we're just going to leave this as is. Featured listings. This adds a featured icon to the listing preview cards and places a higher priority for these listings within Explorer pages, listing feeds, and so on. So they're gonna, if this is toggled on, they're gonna get a little badge that appears. You can customize this badge. I've got all kinds of CSS packages out there where you can do all of this. I'll just show you an example of what this looks like. So if we look at one of my starter sites here, and let's look at, so here we go. So we see here that I styled the promoted badge for this one, and then this one here is the featured. Okay, so that's what it's going to do. You can customize the icon that comes in there, and then the way that it looks. You can use CSS, and that's all available through the club. Mark as verified. So that's going to add a little tick box, tick badge, verified badge next to the title of the actual listing. So if we go into a listing here, you can actually see it here on the preview card here. Looks like this little verified badge. Just click into the listing and you can see it here as well. So that's a verified listing. Okay, that's what that is. Use for claim. That's just saying that this package is the customer can use when they go to claim a listing. So they come to your site and they're like, hey, this Mint Resort, that's my business. I want to claim that. So, they go there and then they click into the listing and then they can do it from the preview card too, I guess. But then they choose to claim the listing, and then when they go to check out and sign up for a subscription or the listing package, this package, we're saying with this setting, allow this to be one of the packages that they can choose. Okay? Disable repeat purchase is the next one down. This allows the package to only be purchased or used once per user. As it says here, it's useful for free listing packages here. There's a lot of confusion that typically goes around this setting. People will say, I want to skip checkout for free listings and stuff like that. MyListing won't let you skip the checkout for free listings some of the time because they need to validate that, whether you've disabled repeat purchase and stuff like that. So it just depends on what you're doing there. But if you want to just skip through the checkout for free products, if this happens to be a free listing, you want to untick that. But if you just want people to only take advantage of this once, you got to make sure you tick that box. Okay. All right. So I think that covers that. Again, in the project template, you're going to get a checklist of all of the stuff for this particular task. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and publish this so we just have this in case we need to go back. Let's go back here. Listing subscription packages. All right. Like listing packages, this is a WooCommerce product type. It allows you to sell or, again, provide free listing submissions on your MyListing website. However, as I mentioned in the subscriptions task card before, listing subscriptions are the better way to go if you can afford the price of WooCommerce subscriptions. Okay. Regardless of which listing package type you choose, they do share similarities, as I've said, and we just went over those. In this task card, if you get the project template, I only cover what's different. So let's cover what's different. So let's go back to our site here. Let's create a new product. Let's call this Listing Subscription Package. And under project data, we're going to choose listing subscription this time. Okay, so right away you see that the fields have changed a little bit. The only ones I really mess with here, obviously you're going to mess with the price and whatever. But typically the only ones I really mess with are, making sure the price is in there. If there's a sale price, put that in there. The listing limit, and then of course these 4 settings down here at the bottom. Those are typically the only things I mess with. I don't mess with expire after because it's a subscription. Like, you just want that thing to be running as long as they're paying. Obviously, maybe you want to change it to yearly plans or whatever. There's a lot of things you can do there. So I don't mess with the expire after. I typically don't mess with the sign-up fee. Free trials are nice. I typically don't mess with those, but you might. Regular price doesn't even apply to these. It actually should be removed from this product type, in my opinion. And then sale price is nice if you're going to run a little deal there. But what else do I want to say here as far as what's unique? So the expire after is unique. Sign-up fees are unique. Free trials unique, and subscription types are unique to this product type over just the plain old listing packages that MyListing has. Okay, what I do want to go over more in this video is the subscription types, because this is confusing to a lot of people. The very simple way that I can say this is don't mess with it. I've always seen it just use this top setting, but I want to walk through the differences, briefly explain the differences. Okay, this default one that I'm telling you just to go with, it links the subscriptions to the posted listings under that package. So all listings are attached to the listing subscription packages remain active as long as the subscription remains active. So your customers are paying for their listing subscription packages. Let's say you've allowed 10 listings under that. All 10 of those listings are going to stay up, stay active as long as they're paying the bill. Okay. Once a listing subscription package ends, which would be like maybe you did set this to expire after a certain time period. I don't know why you would do that, but maybe you would. So If it ends or it's canceled, all listings attached to that will be transitioned to expired. They'll go offline right then and there, okay? Let's say later your customer comes in and they reactivate their subscription. All of those listings will return back to being published again. Free trials are supported as well. At the end of the trial period, the listings will be set to expired until the subscription is renewed. Okay, so let me say that one more time. Free trials are supported, but at the end of the trial period, the listings will be set to expired until the subscription is renewed. So there is a little caveat there. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, so then the other option, link the subscription to the package. The listing subscription package will have its listing count reset to 0 on every subscription renewal period. So whatever you set for the listing limit is right here. So listing limit. This is super important. So what if you left this open to unlimited, which is bad to begin with, in my opinion. You're just giving people free for all to just dump all kinds of crappy listings into your site that have no quality. It's just my opinion. But let's say you leave that open to unlimited, and then let's say you choose this option. You've got this set to unlimited. The person has dropped 100 listings on your site that may or may not be any good at all. And then let's say the next month their renewal comes around, that resets it again. They're going to get unlimited again. Like, not that it really matters with unlimited, because I guess it's already unlimited, but you get what I'm saying. Like, what if you set this to 10 or 20? That next month, they're going to get 20 again. So then they can have 40 listings on your site. And then the next month, they can have 60 total listings on your site. It's just crazy if you go that route. Once a listing subscription package ends or canceled again, all listings attached will remain published until their individual expiration date. So think about that for a second. So what if they got into the third month? You allow 20 subscriptions per month under this option. They get into the third month, so now they have 60 listings on your site. Once the period ends, so if you say let's end this after a year, if you set that, now their subscription is effectively ended, but you're now saying that we're going to keep some of those listings up until their expiration date actually happens. So it's just unlike the other setting here. It's not just going to automatically drop them all off according to the subscription. It's every listing has its own individual expiration date. And just because somebody has a limit of 20 listings per month doesn't mean they're going to post a listing on the same date. They could stagger them. Some at the beginning, some at the middle, and some at the end of the month. So different expiration dates. Okay. Once a listing subscription package ends under this model that we're looking at here, the second option, once a listing subscription package ends or is canceled, no new listings can be added unless the customer reactivates the subscription. So what that means is, even if you allow 20 listings per month, if they cancel it or the subscription ends, let's say they've only posted 5 out of their 20 limit, they cannot go in and add those other 15. They have to resubscribe to be able to get those, to be able to add more listings. Okay, so people may come to you and say, hey, I've got a 20 listing limit, but I can't add my 15. That's why, because they need to resubscribe again or reactivate their subscription. Okay, and again, I have a checklist if you get the project template for setting all of this up. Okay, moving on. Listing subscription grouped product. So let's say that you are going to do subscriptions of any kind. So we need to, and let's also assume that you want to set up the ability for customers to be able to upgrade and downgrade their plans. That's what we're going to set up here. So let's go ahead and publish this. I'm going to call this listing subscription package basic. I'm going to create another one here called Listing Subscription Package Delete. So we'll do this one's $5. Let's update this. Listing Subscription Package Ultimate. And this one's $10. Okay, let me go back. I'm going to set this basic one here. I need to set a price here. So we'll just set this one for free. Okay, and we'll update that. Okay, so we now have our 3 tiers of listing subscription products. Obviously, you can name those whatever you want, but this is just for the sake of the video. Let's do that. So we see here, we've got an expiration accidentally of 12 months. I'm just going to go ahead and change that real quick just to keep things consistent. So I'm going to put back on the default settings here and take off the expiration. Okay, there we go. So now everything is the same. We've got our pricing in place. Now we need to add a new product. We'll call this Listing Subscription Group. Okay, and then for that we need to set the product data type to grouped product, and then we need to drop down to linked products. And in the grouped products field, we just need to add all of our subscriptions. So we'll type in sub here. We'll choose the basic, sub, elite, and sub, ultimate. And we'll publish. Okay, so looking at that, if you go to the pricing page of this starter site, let's go to the pricing page here. So effectively what we've built is this: basic, standard, premium, yada, yada, yada. So if they purchase the standard subscription here and then later on they decide I want to drop down to free or I want to upgrade to premium, you know, from their listings dashboard, they would simply do a switch plan, and it's going to, you know, run them through choosing the package that they want to choose. So that's what we set up there with this listing subscription group. It's really that easy. Let me just think if there's any other notes I need to tell you on this. That's about it. If you look at the post here, let me scroll down here to the bottom. So you see I've got data in here for this. So I've run through the listing packages that are built in. And then if you want to buy these from the club, if you click on this, you can get these pre-made. So I've already got the subscription packages fully built out and ready for you to plug in. So there's a link there, there's a link there. That's what all these links are for. So it's going to take you there, and you can import those into your site in a matter of seconds and be off and running, okay, if you don't want to go through the checklist, okay? All right, so the final piece here, I'm glad we're able to fit all of this into one video. This is great. So the final piece of the pricing thing here is paid listing packages. This also confuses people quite a bit. MyListing allows you to manually assign, manage, and manipulate the listing packages we've talked about and the listing subscription packages we've talked about here. This is useful when you're doing bulk imports of listing, or if you want to adjust pricing allowances, constraints for particular customers on the fly, you know, manually, or and more. So let's go ahead and look at how we would set one of these up. And this is one of the checklists I made available as far as this blog post. So you can check that out. Okay, so let's run through this together. WordPress dashboard, WooCommerce, orders, new. So the first thing we need to do is create an order for somebody. So WooCommerce orders, we're going to add order. We're going to change the status to completed. And then we want to choose our customer. Who's the customer we want to give this to? I don't have any users in here except for myself, so I'm just going to create one. Okay, so we got Chuck in there as a user. I'm going to go ahead and choose Chuck here. Okay, so now we've got Chuck in there. The next thing we want to do is assign one of the packages that we've created. So add items, add products. Let's search for one of our subscriptions. We're going to go ahead and give Chuck our ultimate listing subscription package, okay? And quantity of 1, that's cool. Let's click add. Okay, so we've got that in there, and then let's go ahead and click create. Okay, so we've just given Chuck effectively given them a listing subscription package, the ultimate, worth a $10 value. We gave it to them for free, okay? And so that's one way you can do this to onboard people without bothering them. And you can give them their login information, send it to them. They can log in and they can, off and running. Okay, so we've done that. We've created that package. Now let's say we want to make some changes to this. Let's go under users, paid listing packages. We're going to do add new. This actually should have created a package for that user. I'm not sure why it didn't. That's interesting. So it should have created. Let me make sure I did everything right here. So did that, we did that, we did that. All right, well, maybe I'll upgrade my notes there. Typically, it should create a package in there. So let's do add new. Let's just create one. We'll go ahead. The user here, again, is Chuck. And then the product listings is ultimate here. You know what? I think we can do this. Yeah, so let's select the order here. There we go. So there's the order. Let's put that in there and let's publish this. Okay, there we go. So we see that it's pulling from that package. So if we go back to our products and ultimate here, we see that it has an unlimited listing amount. Let's go ahead and set this to 1 and refresh. Update, and then let's refresh. So it's interesting. So it's really not taking on. It's not really taking on the order or the product specs there. Maybe that has to be in place before. Let's go ahead. Let's test that out. So let's change that from unlimited to 1 and update. Let's go back through here. Let's just try this process again. It could be that I'm just brain farting something here. All right, so we got our packages cleared out. Let's go back to our orders. Let's place an order for this person. We're going to set it to completed. We're going to choose our customer, Chuck. We're going to add our item in here. Okay, that all looks good. And yeah, that looks good. Let's go ahead and create it. All right, so we've got our order in there. Let's check our users, paid listing packages. That is weird. Usually it is in there. I don't know why it's still not doing it. It is completed. Anyway, okay, so let's go back to packages. Let's do add new. And this time, let's choose the order here and say publish. Okay, so it didn't populate any other data. Okay, so let's go ahead and assign the user here. Chuck. And let's say update. Let's see what this does for us here. Still says unlimited, even though ultimate says 1. So it's not actually pulling that in like I thought it should be. Let's go ahead and set the product in here. Ultimate update. Yeah, that's not really syncing up. I'm going to have to look at that again, but typically in my testing, when you create an order, it actually drops in a package automatically for that person. So it could be something I'm brain farting here in my testing, but it could also be caching maybe. That is interesting. So it looks like it might be pulling from here instead of the actual. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and let's try one more while we're on here. Let's do another order. It's just for fun. We'll try a different product. So let's do completed. Let's add a different item this time. Let's do an elite subscription. Okay, that's active. Let's create it. All right, that's in there. Now, again, we should see a paid listing package in here. That is weird. I do not know why it's doing that. It could be something else at play that I'm not. No, it's not doing a subscription in here either. Interesting. Okay, let's go back here to our order. Let's go back to the ultimate one. Let's go ahead and set. Yeah, so it's not actually creating the subscription for them. If we go into paid listing packages, listing subscription package, it's not actually creating a subscription. That's interesting. So let's do add subscription. Let's do Chuck. Subscription status, active. Parent order, so let's see, the parent order would have been, for ultimate would have been this 21 here. So let's choose that. Create subscription. Oh, that is very interesting. I'm going to have to go back and look at this. So, sorry, folks. I tested this quite a bit. Yeah, I tested this quite a bit. But anyway, the point of this whole thing is you are supposed to be able to go in here and manually create and manipulate the products subscriptions based on, you know, a per user basis as you see fit, as you want to. It's really strange that this isn't working, so I apologize. It should be. The only other thing that I can think of here, let's go back to our products. Let's try one more test here together. Let's go. I'm gonna make sure. Yeah, see, that's fine too. Yeah, I'm out of ideas here. This should just work. Yeah, I don't know. I apologize. I'm completely brain farting this. Oh, I got it. Okay, I got it. All right, so let's go into Let's create a listing type here. I don't think we have one. Let's just call this listing type 1. Let's go and create a listing. Listing 1, under listing type 1, publish. All right, let's go through this whole process again. I think I just thought of it. Okay, all of the subscriptions are cleared out. Let's clear out all of the orders. All right, let's clear out all of the paid listing packages. Okay, so now we have a clean slate here. Let's go ahead and set this listing limit to 1. That way we know this thing, let's set it to 5. That way we know this thing is working. Let's update this. Okay, packages are clear. Let's go ahead and close all of this. Okay, and we've got our listing in place now. All right, so now let's go to WooCommerce again. Let's follow the steps I have in the project template. Exactly. So add order. The order, we're going to say that the order is completed. We're going to choose our user. So Chuck. We're going to add our items. Let's do the ultimate plan again. And create. Okay. Next up, let's go to users, paid listing packages. Click add, click create. Yeah, there should be a package ID that's created. All right, let's go ahead and let's create one again. Select the user. Choose the ultimate package. Let's go ahead and choose their order and publish. All right, now let's go and edit their listing. Let's do, under package, let's do switch package. Let's choose the package and apply. And then let's change the author from the admin account to the user. And update. So as we see here, one listing posted and it's ultimate. Let's go back to the paid listing package. So it's still saying one posted of unlimited, even though under ultimate we said we want a listing limit of 5 for those. So how do we get that to go? Let's go back to packages. Let's set it specifically for this user. And let's go back to our listing and refresh. So we should see this one listing posted switch to like 1 of 5. There we go. So one listing posted out of 5. Okay. So again, I apologize for all of the back and forth there. So there's some things you need to set within the package itself for the user. Okay. So let's just, for fun, we'll change this to 10, update. There we go, 1 out of 10. So the main point of this is you can see that without involving the listing owners, customers, you can help them set up listing subscriptions on the back end to take some of the complexity out of their hands, some of the time off their hands, save them the time and headache of doing it. Let's go ahead and look at this listing on the front end. Let's go ahead and verify it within the package. So we're going to mark as verified. And we should see that little tick box show up, the badge. And it's not. Okay, so that's not coming from there. Let's edit the actual product. Mark is verified. That didn't do it either. We'll go ahead and take that off. Why would that not be the case? They've essentially paid for a product. It's got a price associated with it, so it's not free. That should carry over there. But I know if I check verified listing here, we're going to get that tick box. So my guess is that that tick box only comes into play if you manually assign it there, or if you were to, if the user was to actually go through the purchasing process. Okay, so that should go away there. So we edited the product. Let's mark both of these verified. So verified here. Let's go back to the package. Let's do verified here. So neither of those work. So it's definitely being controlled by the listing itself at this point. Yeah, if anyone has gone through that and you can say for sure, that's cool. I could also, I mean, I pretty much did just test it. But if I go through an actual purchase process, is that going to go ahead and take care of that? I'm guessing it will. All right. Anyway, bottom line, you see how the packages work and how that can be really helpful. And if you're doing like the bulk imports thing, you could set up a site with like one. Basically, I call it an import template. You build everything up at a minimum. You know, one user, one order. You know, all of the details, sort of thing, and get your listing set up as you want, your listing type and all that, and then you export all that out, and you've got a template file that you can use to populate, like in a spreadsheet. Just populate it as you want, and bulk import that in, and that's going to create these packages and things of that nature. All right, this was a power-packed video. Sorry for the waffling at the end. I hope you found this useful, and please subscribe so you know when the next video of the series comes out, or my next video in general. And take care. Talk to you later.